Imagine losing your child in a vast, unforgiving wilderness. On Wachusett Mountain, one mother's voice is said to echo through the forest, still searching for her daughter. This is the story of Lucy Keyes. Welcome back, everyone. Today I am in Princeton, Massachusetts, standing near the summit of Wachusett Mountain, the highest point in the state east of the Connecticut River, with a view stretching from southern Vermont all the way to Boston, as well as much of the Commonwealth in between. Mount Wachusett is a hot spot for hikers, skiers, and nature lovers, with miles of trails winding through its dense forest, as well as being home to an abundance of wildlife and multiple spots to stop and admire the landscape. But these stunning vistas aren't the reason we're here today, no. We're here to look into the mysterious disappearance of Lucy Keyes. In 1751, Robert Keyes, a blacksmith from the town of Shrewsbury, would move his wife Martha and their 5 children to a 200-acre plot of land on the eastern side of Wachusett Mountain. Being just the 4th family to move into the area, the Keyes were completely isolated and relied mostly on themselves for their basic needs. On the morning of Monday, April 14th, 1755, Robert's youngest daughter, 4-year-old Lucy, would attempt to follow 2 of her older sisters into the forest to fetch water, but would seemingly vanish without a trace. A massive search would begin for the young girl, with volunteers from the neighboring towns of Rutland and Shrewsbury spending countless hours combing the mountainside. Theories would begin to spread about the possibility of local natives snatching the child and bringing her up to Canada. A separate theory would come about years later in 1793, when the Keyes' former neighbor, Tilly Littlejohn, supposedly admitted on his deathbed to murdering Lucy and concealing her body in a hollow log, although later reports showed Littlejohn did not, in fact, live in the area at the time. Lucy's mother, Martha, would suffer unbearable grief at the loss of her youngest child, spending much of her time searching the forest and calling her name. Stories of her ghost are said to still haunt the grounds, with visitors still hearing her call out for Lucy. Lucy. Just down the road from the mountain is Princeton's Meeting House Hill Cemetery, where you can find the grave of Lucy's mother, Martha. Martha Keyes would sadly never recover from the loss of Lucy, still grieving until her death some 30 years later in 1789. Her epitaph reads, "Memento Mori, in memory of Mrs. Martha Keyes, wife of Mr. Robert Keyes, who deceased August 9th, 1789, in the 69th year of her age. When from death's long sleep I woke, to nature's renovating day, clothe me with thy own righteousness, and in thy likeness, Lord, array." The Keyes would be driven to near poverty in their search for Lucy, and Martha would go to her grave, never learning what became of her youngest daughter. Until next time.